A short, sharp, very intense and perhaps very emotional week for all 8 of these teams, because they all come here with very realistic dreams. Flexor injury, and Arya Manuchil, I think it's a hamstring injury, means that he misses out. Keep into the team. We're going to get that 11 checked. I don't. Remarkable year.
And even Hong Kong as well.
Cleans him up straight through. It's Karen Casey. Well, he was the player of the series in the Dabur Honey Tri-Series that just concluded a couple of days ago, that has given Nepal such brilliant preparation. He might have just got a feather of an inside edge perhaps, but Karen Casey, 10 wickets in the Tri-Series, and just the second delivery. Nepal have their first.
Yeah, he missed the line of the ball as length as well. Look at that, playing outside the line of the ball. It was a beautiful team.
It is Sandeep Johra. The first runs are not going to come yet because a bit of hesitation. Well, they will now come with an overthrow. In fact, it's going to be probably a couple of overthrows, very nearly 4 of them. There's Gulshan Jha and Sampal Kami hair after it, and they crash into one of the advertising hoardings. It's Surendran Chandramohan, who I think is going to get off the mark with 3 overthrows. And all action start to the morning, Paresh.
Yes, I think he didn't need to throw the ball, but Gulshan Jha, what an effort by him, chasing after the ball, just keeping the ball inside the play. Look at Sompal Kami, both of them almost colliding. And there's a smile on Sompal Kami's face. There's always a smile, getting the ball to chop in to the right-hander. Running top edge, running down to the boundary, 4 runs. They will fancy these 4 runs, Singapore.
A little bit of width on offer from
Karan Casey, the leading wicket taker, the highest wicket taker in the inside edge, running down to fine leg for 4 runs. 11 for 1 after 1.
Oh, what a remarkable start. Runs, wickets, a bit of everything, and real fortune. This easily could have been the 2nd wicket. Rohan Rangarajan's bar was unmoved, so for the moment, in fact, it's Rangarajan survives. Guided away. Going to be 4 more. The runs, chances, and wickets are all coming with great regularity. It's an action-packed start here, and it's Rangarajan who gets the 2nd boundary of the over.
Yes, that was just guided wide off third man. Beautiful timing by Rangarajan there. Another boundary of the over. Everything happening here in the first day of the tournament, the ICC Men's World Cup qualifier. Start 9 AM start. They're coming here. They've come here and they're still coming, entering the gate as well. 3 good deliveries by Sompal Kami, hitting the deck hard, getting that movement away from the right-hander. That's good bowling by Sompal. And mind you, Chandramohan, double an end.
This is a fascinating move. As a misfield is going to cost 4. I think it's Kushal Malla, is it? Short third up in the circle. That should have been stopped. We saw an indifferent fielding performance in the first half of the Tri-Series final. I felt in particular 2 drop catches. Malla was one who put one down. And this time again, he's just tumbled over it. But Bahara brought in very early in the Tri-Series. I think they were always being used at the death. Clubbed down the ground and hit with real quality, real accuracy too, all the way for 6. It's the first maximum of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Qualifier Asia final, and it belongs to Rangarajan. A good strike.
Yes, hit with authority. It went over our head, onto our roof of the commentary box. Look at that, hitting the roof and ball coming down. It was a good strike. First 6.
Here, that's where our commentary position is. We're the 2nd floor. Excuse me, the 1st floor, not the 2nd floor. It's going to be another boundary, a sparkling start this from Singapore. They're putting it right up to the hosts. It's really been 3, well, back-to-back half volleys, 2 full again and punished down the ground.
Singapore bat is justifying the decision by the captain to bat first after winning the toss. They're dealing in boundaries and 6s at the moment. What a strike by Rangarajan, again piercing the big gap between short extra and mid-off. Runs of 3 balls already in his first over.
That's going to be another boundary. It's 4 consecutive boundaries. This move to Bahara, well, it's proving very, very costly indeed. He's known as a death specialist, but he's just being picked apart on the offside. This time, nicely guided, full face of the bat, 4 more.
Yeah, none of the fielders are outside the circle in the offside behind the stumps. That is why he got the gap to perfection. Rangarajan guided it down to third man. The third man fielder with a half volley for Rangarajan, who scored 4-6, 4-4. Nicely cut away into the gap. Another 4. 22 off the over. 5 gone. Singapore 45 for 1.
Well, remarkable, absolutely remarkable from Rohan Rangarajan. Outstanding batting, probably not the best bowling we've seen.
He's going to come to the attack.
Beautifully driven again. It's a real strong zone of Rohan Rangarajan. He's looked so comfortable through that wide mid-off extra cover region in particular, and well, maybe the shot of the morning. Glorious drive, hit on the up and hit firmly past the diving road paudel at mid-off.
Again getting the gap to his perfection between mid-off and short extra. Beautifully driven. Look at the position of the body, look at the position of the head. It's very still, and the connection right up.
Took a few long drives, went to some temples. Bowled him straight through the googly. It's lamichhane to a tee, and it's too good for Chandramohan. An absolute beauty. A googly of the highest quality. You could see it out of the back of the hand, and it slices Chandramohan in half.
Yeah, this is what lamichhane is all about. Bowled 4 leg spinners and a googly. Went through the gate, bowled him. That's very well done by lamichhane. Very well disguised as well. The googly was a bit flighted. Look at that flight, and the ball going inside edge to the middle stump. Chandramohan.
The attempted defences. How will Singapore go against this challenger spin? Martia Cole, very inexperienced, just the 4 T20Is to his name thus far, including the 150. Googly again, I think, out of the back of the hand, so it's a wicket take.
The ball just dipped into the wicketkeeper, just bounced in front of him. That clearly shows that something was obstructing the ball going behind the stumps. Over the top. Oh, what a catch! Beautifully taken by Sandeep Zora. 3rd wicket down for Singapore.
Well, Sandeep Zora, a special moment. And it is a massive wicket because it's the set Rohan Rangarajan, and the continued excellence of Gulshan Jha comes thanks to that catch. Leaping out to his left at the last moment and protecting his body as it was impacted. Outstanding, sensational take from Sandeep Zora, who was left into the sky to bring this game back towards Nepal. Rangarajan's gone for an excellently made 46. I believe we've had a late change to the Nepal team, and the reason why we felt that Bibek Yadav was incorrectly or
very talented cricketer, young cricketer. He has a bright future ahead of him.
Chip back towards Jan, taken too quick, and he bounces out Cole, and Nepal, well, they are roaring back into this contest. It was all Singapore for much of the first 6 overs after that second ball wicket, but the last over and a half, how Nepal have roared back in, and they now are right on top.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Gulshan Jha bowling a bumper. Look at that, very sharp bouncer, straight in the face of Cole. A easy return catch for him. Look at the effort that Gulshan Jha creates there in that particular delivery. The first 6 overs belong to Singapore. After that,
Between bat and pad. Don't get greedy, don't bowl on leg stump. Ball off stump and just outside it. That's your perfect line, almost a fourth stump line for a leg spinner.
Yes, and the length is also the key for the leg spinner. Just bowl it 3 meter length, 6 meter length. This was a bit too fuller over his head. Tried to get that because Sandeep Lamichhane couldn't do it.
Googly again cuts him in half, and I'm not sure if there's any bat involved, but Asif Sheikh has not been able to glove it cleanly. It's hit nothing, in fact, it's given us 4 byes. And the boundary will close out the 9th over, 63 for 4.
Look at his action, smooth run up. Edged, down to third man, and a boundary.
Yeah, no slip in place. And Prakash is a hitter. He's a powerful ball striker in the middle order, the highest quality. He can strike well. This time he gets lucky, yes, but there's good intent there. So don't mind to see that at all from Janak Prakash. He only averages 20 odd, but it's the strike rate in terms of his participation for the rest of the tournament. For Nepal's sake, let's just hope it's solely for today. But we don't know any further than the fact he's not playing today. Crashed away in a brilliant stop. 4-run save by Kushal Bhutel, body on the line. That's outstanding work at backward point. So that's the competition. We're not going to have drinks at the 10 over next. So Lamichhane will continue, and he's got another. It's kept a little low. I think it might have been the wrong one out of the back of the hand. The umpire's finger went up pretty quickly, adjudicating this was going to go on and hit leg stump. It's done enough, and Lamichhane has yet another T20I wicket to his name.
A very clever bowling by Lamichhane there. Bowled a googly behind the hand. Ball going in. And that's a decent decision by the umpire. The ball would have crashed into leg stump. A good decision by the umpire. Another breakthrough for Lamichhane. Janak Prakash.
I thought nicely guided away. It's going to be 4 runs. The outfield's quick. I was just talking about the strength of Nepal's spinners. They surely want to bowl a bit more spin and a little bit less seam.
Yes, they would have done that. Mind you, Lalit Rajbanshi is not playing today. Avinash Bora is playing in place of him. But just to have a good combination, 2 frontline spinners and 2 frontline seamers, along with Gulshan Jha, would have been a very good combination. 11 gone, Singapore 76 for 5. Mohammad Wasim in the final. Edged down to third man. Nicely fielded by Avinash Bora.
Yeah, good work from Bahar, right in front of our commentary position. Very clear.
He's around Australia and in the United States. Pulled away behind square, and that's much needed boundary for Singapore. Chaudhary with his second boundary moves to 11 of 9.
Bahara continues to prove expensive. It goes back to my point here. I know Dipender Singh Ari is not in the starting 11 because of that late injury. But would you not look at Kushal Malla, who was so economical in the tri-series, for a couple of quick overs in this phase, just to continue to keep the brakes up?
Gets the ball move.
It's going to be a boundary, I think, to close out Jazz spell. It's very quick this out.
I would go with Malla, because just to check one over with him. He's a very clever bowler, mind you, Malla. Swept away, a slog sweep down to square leg, in front of square, and it's a boundary. Valiant effort by Pratish GC there. Was nicely bowled, but got the inner part of the bat down, running down to the third man boundary for 4 runs. Much needed boundary for Chaudhary and Singapore. Chaudhary moves to 22. Lalit Narayan Rajbanshi does, but he's very economical, very smart. Cut it away down to backward point, another boundary. He's playing a blinder of an innings, Chaudhary.
And again, it's a full pace delivery, and that pace allows.
Went under the ball, went inside the line of the ball and tried to scoop the ball. Slower ball, hit it up in the air. Rohit Paudel taken. What a catch by the captain, Rohit Paudel. He's very good in the boundary line, in the Sadia circle as well.
Marvellous fielding from a very, very special cricketer, the captain of Nepal, Rohit Paudel. We saw him take an even better one during the try series where he had to go outside the playing surface and throw it up and come back in. But this is judged to perfection. He's made that look so easy. Spoken before about how much he practices taking these catches in the deep, and that is as good as you'll see. Immaculate from Paudel. Marvellous athleticism. And it finds the 6th wicket for his country, just inches inside the boundary hoardings.
Nicely cut away, going towards the third man region. The third man is inside the circle, boundary. 31 of 21, this Chaudhary.
Yeah, it was actually one ball left to the over because of that wide. Our graphics team just updating that. It is now the end of the 17th, 1, 2, 4 for 6.
It all depends on the strength of the bowling attack, what Nepal had the other day on the final. Again bowling a short ball, pulled away, not getting the mid of the bat. And taken by Sundeep Zohra. Second catch for him. This was a rather simple one regarding the first one that he took.
Well, it's another wicket, and Bahara finally has something to take from today's spell. His first 2 overs were awfully expensive. That was there to be hit, to be honest, but the pull shot not really affected with any quality, and Sundeep Zohra takes a much easier catch than the one he executed earlier. And the debut for Amadurai T20I cricket is going to be a short stay at the crease. He'll have a chance with the ball there.
His main goal, his main theme is to bowl Yorkers in the death overs. Another short ball, pulled away, the ball running down to long on. Another catch, nicely taken by the captain. This was much easier than the other one he took earlier, Rohit Paudel, the captain. Krishna has to depart for a knot.
Well, Bahara's figures might end up looking a bit better than they've actually been. He's picked up 2 and 3 deliveries in Singapore, or rather tamely ebbing away. I'm not sure about the choice of shot, given there's a batter at the other end on 31 not out. And Rohit Paudel is never going to drop that, is he? Bahara finds in conditions. Down the leg side, clipped away nicely by the youngster Puri. He'll get a boundary. Our captain, he was happy to agree to a late replacement, which is Vivek Yadav. And this is slapped away and taken. Karen Casey nicely judges the catch down at deep third, and Chaudhary, well, he's made a marvellous debut, isn't he? 37, the pick of the batters alongside Rangarajan for me. But Bahara, well, he's fought back in a big way.
Yes, this one also shot outside the off stump. Chaudhary giving himself room, tried to slash it over the backward point fielder, but straight into Karan Casey's hand, the third man fielder. He's played a little in his first 2 overs. The first over yielded 22 runs. Nicely bowled again. Nicely played. I think that's a 6. Yes, it is.
Well, outstanding from Puri. He's got down and read that Yorker coming in from Avanesh Bahara and managed to scoop it away for 6. An audacious stroke from the teenager. Bit of a top edge, but he's just read that beautifully and gets...
Kushal Bhutel can happen in a T20 match. So they need a good start given...
By Kushal Bhutel. A dream start for Nepal. They get underway with a boundary right away. Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani. Paresh.
He just wrist position is going towards fine leg. That is why the ball. Nicely driven by Kushal Bhutel. A copyright. Kushal Bhutel covered right for 4 runs.
Oh, beautiful stand and deliver stuff. The LED boards behind us flash 4 up. Well, this was a flashing drive, wasn't it? Just an extension of the arms over pitch by Prakash all the way along the ground. And that, oh, it feels so good as an opening batter, as you'd know, Paresh.
Absolutely. huge blow for Nepal. Defender Singh Aire not playing this tournament. We cannot imagine, the Nepali fans cannot imagine that. Nicely defended. Look at the timing of Asif Sheikh. Just a forward defensive shot and the ball raced to the boundary for 4 runs. After the first over, Nepal 14 for no loss.
Well, you described it as a defensive stroke. It pretty much was. It was no more than a push into the offside. And these two have such different styles and techniques. Oh, that is beautiful, isn't it? It shows how good a wicket it is, and shows for me again that pace to see Ramesh Kalamathu to open from the Chobar end. An inside edge saves Kushal Bertel. Outfield's quick, but not quite quick enough to get to the rope. They might think him third here, they nearly do. He's got this action that I described it as a little bit like Devin Malcolm. He jumps out.
How the start is for the dedication of Ryan, and he's the only one we've heard the message from. Hit it up in the air, there's a fielder going around it, but I don't think they're going to take it. 2 runs easily taken by Kushal Bhutel. Talking about the fans in US.
Paresh, we're going to love every second of bringing you the coverage. Looks to innovate around the corner. And there he goes brilliantly. How, oh how has that gone for 6? What a shot from Kushal Bertel. He looks back to his belligerent best, the Butwell boss.
Nicely done by Kushal Bhutel. Came back to form in the finals, continuing that form. I'm talking about shoulder action, not that much pace, but decent action. It's actually might be good.
This was a more conventional stroke. What are you going to say, everyone, as well? I've got one at the World Cup. I was going to say Trent Bolt. Look at that great runs through the line. He is a little shade of Trent Bolt. He's only 17. What a brilliant debut. Even the part-time off breaks of road. Paudel would have been a good choice with the left-hander at the crease. Pace on the ball is going the distance. Thuds into the side screen for an almighty maximum. Kushal Bertel, we've christened him the Butwell boss. That's a shot of dominant stature.
Unbelievable shot played by Kushal Bhutel behind the stumps, over the keeper's head for a 6, straight to the side screen. Unbelievable. This is what Kushal Bhutel is all about. He manufactures shot. Mind you, Nepal played a T20 match after more than a year. Nicely driven by Asif Sheikh. Another boundary. 12 runs off the over, the 4th over. Nepal 43 for no loss.
To the power play from these two. This time it was really just a wide full toss. That what Sheikh's done brilliantly here is open the face on the bat. He knows there's a man. It's sort of a deep extra cover, a deep. He's guided away for 4. Brilliance from Bertel. The adjustment mid-stroke. He was looking for a ramp, a scoop for 6, but instead he just opened the face on that to get it for 4 through the offside. Outstanding from Bertel.
Look at that. This is brilliant by Kushal Bhutel. Initially he wanted to ramp the ball behind the stumps, but the ball was outside the off stump. He adjusted very well and guided it down to third man. The third man fielder was inside the circle, right in the gap between third man and backward point.
Singapore will just hope to round out this power play by picking up one of these two openers. On pace and smashed down the ground, and smashed almightily by Asif Sheikh with no shortage of style or technique either. A full face of the bat, it goes all the way for 6.
Yeah, that was nicely timed with the full face of the bat, showing the manufacturer's name to the bowler. Look at this, straight hit, like Sachin Tendulkar used to hit it, straight down the ground. Beautifully timed as well. understood the slower ball, the leg cutter that Jana Prakash bowled, and waited for the ball to come to his bat and then executed the shot.
Down the leg side. And there's a man down at fine leg. I thought it had just gone fine of him. An answer, and they need the answer quickly. Not coming right now. Cut away, going to be 4 more. Outstanding from Bhutel. The crowd roar again, and there's thousands of happy Nepali fans and millions across the country right now. They are flying through this chase.
This was equally well played by Kushal Bhutel. Waited for the ball and then got the gap to perfection between short third and backward point. There was a slight misfield by the backward point fielder. Moves to 46 of 24. Again on the leg stump. They're trying to push for 2. Good running between the wickets by these 2 batsmen. The understanding is there.
Well, quite brilliant this city. He's forced them back with 2 aggressive strokes, then he just pops it down and says to Asif Sheikh, let's get 2. Runs away towards the rope, but won't quite get there. Going to be 2 more, and it's going to be 50 for Kushal Bhutel. It's come from 26 deliveries. 6 4s and 2 6s, and the crowd rise to one of their very favourite, the Butwell boss. He's doing it again. It's 72 for none. It's been starting to come into its own. And right on cue it does come into its own. It's Akshay Puri. Gets the most perfectly flighted off break through Asif Sheikh. He looked for the aggressive stroke and he's paid the price. Cleaned up, clean bowled by the youngster.
Yeah, brilliant bowling by the youngster Puri. Asif Sheikh wanted to go for a slog sweep but missed the line completely. And look at the ball dip in front of him. That is the reason why. Leg stump uprooted. Let's look at from the backside there. Yes, beautiful delivery by Puri.
Paudel at number 3 makes a lot of sense in this format for me. And he gets off the mark in real style. A drag down from Puri. And Paudel gets a boundary.
Yeah, this is what Rohit is all about. He plays off spinners and all the spinners so well. And look at him. He has ample of time to maneuver the ball all around the park. Look at this again. Just waited for the ball. It was a bit quicker than usual that Puri bowled. He just paddled that round the corner for a boundary. Look at that again. Rohit Paudel on top of the bounce. Head very still to play that shot. Look at that again. Beautifully done.
He's a clever cricketer, Rohit Paudel, even when he's...
This is what I'm talking about. He hits it straight down the ground out of nowhere. This is what I was going to talk about. 10 runs off the over and a wicket. 10 overs gone. Nepal 94 for 1.
Well, what a blow. What a strike from the captain himself. It was only marginally over pitch, but Paudel says, good enough. I'll get the long handle out and I'll clear the ropes with JB Bahara watching on from Seattle. What time is it there? He says Jai Nepal. Down the leg side, that'll be given as a wide. Nice to hear from Singapore fans too.
We'll definitely see thousands and thousands of Nepali citizens staying in US. Nicely guided.
We saw it in the Cricket World Cup League 2 series at the Musa Stadium. As they're going to run an overthrow here. Singapore's fielding has not been at the level that Nepal's was. We saw healthy crowds there in their thousands in Texas, but I suspect if any of those games that are going to be played in New York or Florida or Texas, the 3 host venues that have been announced by the ICC for next year's World Cup in the United States, we could see remarkable crowds. And the best thing about that tournament next year for me, Paresh, we're going to see an open draw, 20 teams. It'll be seeded, of course, but 4 groups of 5. This is nicely driven, but protection out there. So whoever does qualify from these regional qualifiers goes straight in against the big...
Looked like it didn't touch anything, but the umpires given as a hit. It looked like he hit the bat This is another one I was talking about. Hit it high up in the air. This is what Rohit Paudel is all about. Out of nowhere, he just smashes down the ground for a 6.
Well, catching practice in the crowd, and it's put down, hit up towards the most packed part of the ground. You get such a good view up there. You feel like you're right on top of the action. And this is an almighty blow from Rohit Paudel, right into the hitting arc and very nearly out of the park entirely. Put down, oh dear. A real chance for someone to have a moment to remember up there. But Rohit Paudel, he's wanting to end this in a hurry. He's looked at his most fluent that we've seen in the last 10 days or so. That includes the tri-series that preceded this. And he's flown to 18 off 9 balls, including 2 big maximums. Now he tries that favoured late cut shot of his. Another mess. Enjoying the action on ICC TV and indeed here in Nepal on Kantapur. Tickled round the corner. It's a classic Rohit Paudel shot. It has the pace surely, and Anta gives up the chase. It's 4 more. Nepal, what a start to the tournament they're having.
Rohit Paudel, he has big hits, big strong hits, and he has such a neat touch as well. A complete batsman. He knows what he's doing in the center. He calculates everything. Look at this neat touch. Just played it so late into the gap as well.
And it's hard to explain as to how frustrating that would be for the bowler. Didn't do a huge amount wrong and still conceded a boundary. Paudel wants the single, Bhutel doesn't. 12 have been bowled.
Yeah, it sure is. There are good teams there, Oman, Hong Kong, UAE, Bahrain and Kuwait. Mind you, Kuwait has played very well to qualify for the Asia.
We're starting to warm to the task. Babar Hayat in particular, such an important player. I think if we're going to see upsets, unless Malaysia can do something special, which they could here in Group A, I think those upsets are mainly going to come in Group B. Oh dear. One of the biggest cheers of the day is Rohit Paudel will turn 1 into 3 somehow with an overthrow. That's maybe the 4th or 5th overthrow we've seen already. The wheels well and truly off now for Singapore.
Yes, it's well and truly off. If Dipender Singh...
Watching on from Adelaide in Australia, so he says Jai Nepal. Bikram watching on from Hagley. Down in Christchurch, the Hagley Oval. He says he loved...
Cut away by Rohit Paudel, but there's a fielder there, there's protection. 13 gone. Nepal 119 for 1.
Now, for these players to show how good they are and to rise up the rankings and get to World Cups.
Nicely cut away by Kushal Bhutel behind square. That's another boundary for him. Moves to 65 of 39. Nepal well truly into the chase. Just 22 more needed. And talk about the associate members, Lenny, we can see Netherlands, how big they have had an impact on world cricket. They've beaten South Africa, they've beaten Bangladesh in the World Cup.
Didn't just beat both those sides, they beat them out of sights. I called that Scotland victory over the West Indies, just took it away from. That's going to happen because on the whole, the full members have better players and more depth. But that template the Dutch have shown us, I think all of the associates should now be looking at that. Even the lower ranked full members, Bangladesh, Zimbabwe, Ireland, Afghanistan can learn from it. And it's a template that can be implemented across ODI cricket, T20 cricket, and I want to see more of it from the associate sides to come.
Even talking about Afghanistan, they are the test playing nation, but they beat England and they beat Pakistan for the first time in the one-day internationals. Nicely bowled, but single taken by Kushal Bhutel. 14 gone, Nepal 127.
Away, he steered away for 4 more. It's all too easy right now for Nepal. There's a confidence we're seeing from their fans that we haven't seen historically, and maybe the cardiac kids, they need to be renamed.
Yes, that was very nicely played by Kushal Bhutel. Played it late into the gap for a boundary. Moves to 71 now, Kushal Bhutel. He's coming back to form, back-to-back 50s in T20 International.
Have they simply outclassed Singapore here despite that impressive second wicket partnership in the first innings from Singapore.
Trying to hit the ball too hard. Just stay at your crease. Outside the option, nicely timed, but there's a misfield, 2 runs taken by these two batsmen. Good running between the wickets, and they're just ampling for 2 runs.
Well, it just amazes me how good they are between the wickets, and it's pretty much across the board. Only the top 7 or 8 batters, probably 9 if you include Sampal Kami, all excellent between the wickets. I think in the first innings that would have just been a single, could have been a dot in fact. They just run so effectively. 2 again here. In the first innings that was only a single, and they've cantered home for the second. 6 runs come from that over, 4 remain, 1 4. Dance down the track it is, but not quite enough to finish it off like MS Dhoni. It was exactly what he attempted, and maybe the only blot on the copybook of what's been a really good day for Nepal. Kushal Bhutel caught out by Thilipan, just inches inside the rope for what would have been the match-winning 6, and he's gone for a marvellous 74.
Yeah, it was a very smart catch by the fielder there, exactly like what Rohit Paudel took in the first innings. Kushal Bhutel, what an innings that he's played, 74 of 47. Beautiful knock. I beg your pardon, it's
Mala, it's going to be in at number 4. We know what this youngster's like. He could well try to end it with 1 blow. I wonder what his captain said to him. The leg spinner's going to come around the wicket, so he's going to be bowling into his hitting arc with the ball turning in unless he goes with a googly. It's 5 to win. Is Mala going to do something special? Well, of course he is. It's quite simply a walk-off 6. The moment he hit it, he just started to walk towards the pavilion. He's only going to face 1 ball today, Kushal Mala. It was all too predictable, wasn't it? And Nepal have won by 8 wickets, with the young left-hander finishing off in the grandest of styles. And it's a dream start. A dominant 8-wicket win to get their T20 World Cup qualification adventure underway. And thousands, if not millions of fans across the country will be very happy with their Monday morning's work. Nepal off to the dream start.
Yes, Nepal off to a dream start, winning the game by 8 wickets. We were expecting that Kushal Malla would hit the first ball for a 6 to finish it off. That is what exactly he did. 147 for 2 in 16.3 overs. That will do their net run rate a world of good. Nepal winning the game by 8 wickets. A very good performance by Kushal Bhutel, 74 runs. Asif Sheikh, 20 odd runs, and Rohit Paudel, the captain, stayed there, not out. And look at the 6 again, just above the fielder's head. Tilip almost coming to the commentary box.
Well, rode in an extraordinary manner to get Nepal that victory that, to be honest, they've really well deserved. Then for Krishna and 1 for Puri, the 2 spinners.